So recently, Pokemon GO just did something that we have never seen before. During this event, we'll encounter a lot of legendaries in the wild, and they also have a chance to be shiny. So in today's video, we're gonna try to catch as many legendaries as we can from the incense and see how many legendaries we manage to catch. So with that being said, let's jump straight into this video and see what Pokemon GO has installed for this event. At the start of this event, I activated my incense and see what legendaries spawn first. And after walking around for a bit, a Suicune just spawned out of nowhere. At first, I thought I wasn't gonna catch this Suicune. However, something unexpected happened. I surprisingly managed to catch it on my very first throw, catching my very first wild legendary during this event. So right after the Suicune just spawned, a Regieleki spawned out of my incense, and I thought I was gonna get my second legendary Pokemon, but unfortunately the Regieleki ran away, and I was low-key kinda disappointed. But hey, it's a Regieleki, come on, who's gonna use that? A few moments later, we managed to encounter another legendary Pokemon. But Tornadoes took one look at me and said, "Nah, I'm good." And bro just immediately left to Brazil. So I continued with my expedition and tried to hunt for another legendary. And after running around the streets for quite some time, we managed to find a wild Lunala in our incense. And this Lunala has 3600 CP. And I know that this is gonna be a very difficult challenge. I immediately threw my first Ultra Ball, trying to hit the excellent. Lunala said, "Your dumbass tried to catch me?" And bro did not last 3 seconds, and he immediately jumped out and ran away. And I was low-key kinda disappointed with that encounter. Like, come on bro, couldn't you stay a little longer so I can catch you? Right after that encounter, we went straight to exploring again. But this time, there's a wild legendary that spawned nearby. And after using a golden raspberry and throwing an excellent, it still jumped out and ran away. At this point, I was just convinced that all the legendary Pokemon hates me. So a few minutes go by, we managed to encounter a wild Landorus in my incense. Nice. However, after it broke out from the first ball, it still stayed behind, giving me the chance to redeem myself. So I hit the excellent throw on the Landorus, but then after one shake, it broke out and ran away. So during the evening, I was walking around the neighborhood where I saw a Xerneas spawn on my incense. I threw a Ultra Ball and say hello to it, immediately jumped out and said goodbye to me. But afterwards, another Suicune spawned out of my incense. And surprisingly, I managed to catch it again. I guess Suicune is the only one who loves me, huh? Few minutes go by, and a Tapu Lele spawned out of the incense as well. I guess she wasn't having it, so she jumped out and ran away, just like how my ex left me. But we managed to encounter a Tapu Fini after that encounter. Surprisingly, we managed to catch her in the Ultra Ball, getting our second legendary in the collection. Afterwards, we walked around the neighborhood for a little longer. Then we encountered this guy. Yup, the same guy that trolled us just now. So I planned to capture him by throwing excellent, but I completely missed and it ran away again. Well, I guess I'm down 0-2. And after getting laughed at Landorus, we managed to encounter a Zamazenta in my incense. But after throwing one Ultra Ball at it, bro did not hesitate to jump out of the ball and run away. But it's probably because I have Zacian as my buddy. So that's disappointing. Anyways, after that, we managed to encounter a shiny Ekans in the wild. After that encounter, Tapu Lele decided to join our team. But before we end off the first day, Leader Cliff wants to fight us. So I gotta send his ass home crying. So on the second day of the event, I immediately threw down my incense and started exploring. And while exploring, we encountered 2 legendaries. And after throwing one Pokeball, both of them just booked it. A great way to start off the day, huh? And after a while, we encountered the legendary Pokemon Ho-Oh. So I threw an Ultra Ball at his face. I guess he didn't like that as he jumped out and took off like a F-35 jet. And this is why Logia is better. So afterwards, I decided to grind more legendaries by riding a bus. And during this bus ride, we encountered a wild Zapdos in my incense, and we managed to catch it, making this our very first legendary that we catch on the second day. Not long after, we encountered a wild Sugalio in our incense. So I was waiting for the right time to throw the Ultra Ball. I then threw the Ultra Ball at his face, and to my surprise, I managed to catch it on the very first throw, making this our second legendary that we caught so far. And after walking for quite a while, we encountered another Zapdos in our incense, and somehow we managed to catch this one as well. And I was quite shocked as we caught 3 legendaries in a row. Hold up, is this some sort of prank? Because when I was catching legendaries in the previous day, they were running around like mad chickens. Speaking of chicken, we encountered an orange chicken in our incense. And after throwing the Ultra Ball and hitting Excellent on his face, we managed to catch this Galarian Zapdos as well, making it our 4th catch in a row. And for the next few legendaries that I encountered so far, we managed to catch them as well, until this legendary Pokemon spawned out of my incense. Now at first, I thought it wasn't really a legendary Pokemon, because I do not know what the hell this is. Either way, I threw my Ultra Ball. I didn't really try, to be honest. And then it jumped out and ran away, ending my streak of catching 6 legendary Pokemons in a row. So after resting for a bit, we went hunting for more legendary Pokemons. Ever since that thing ran away from us, we did not manage to catch any single legendary Pokemon after that. But after walking to one of the raids nearby, we managed to encounter a wild Kyurem. After aiming a perfect excellent on this dude, we somehow managed to capture this guy as well, but the IVs are horrendous. So after a while, we encountered a wild Regidrago from our incense. After throwing one ball at this dude, he immediately jumped out and booked it. But after a while, the Regidrago came back, just for it to run away again. Man, I'm telling y'all, these legendaries are just playing with me at this point. After a few hours of not catching any legendaries, we encountered this guy again. And this time, I'm not gonna let Landorus escape. I prepared to throw my Ultra Ball, waiting for the right time to hit the excellent throw. And once the time is right, I threw the Ultra Ball, hit a perfect excellent on his face. And when the ball shook twice, I thought I was gonna get it. But he jumped out and ran away. And after getting humiliated by Landorus, we encountered more legendary Pokemons, and we are still unable to catch them. But we did manage to catch a Galarian Articuno from the incense, marking the end of our second day. So it's the last day of this event, and I'm actually not quite surprised after our first legendary ran away, just like how girls do when they first see me. So we continued walking around this area, and we found a wild Zacian from my incense. This Zacian has 3037 CP, so I hit the excellent throw and tried to capture Zacian, but immediately after the second shake, it jumped out and ran away. So then, I decided to do a live stream on TikTok. On that same stream, I managed to catch a Hundo Cresselia in the wild, making it my rarest catch in this event. Not long after, we encountered a wild Zekrom, and this guy gave me the pass. While walking towards the end of my destination, we encountered a block of ice. I'm surprised that it kept running away. Afterwards, a giant killer whale just spawned out of my incense. Immediately after throwing one ball at it, bro decided to just fly away. But afterwards, we encountered a wild Rayquaza in our incense. However, there's just one problem. My phone only left 2%. So unfortunately, I have to let this Rayquaza go, and that's the end of this grind. Throughout this event, we managed to catch a total of 17 legendaries. So how many legendaries did you manage to catch during this event? Let me know in the comment section below. And also subscribe if you are new to the channel. And the takeaway of this event is that Landorus is a big piece of shit. Anyways, thank you all guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all guys in the next video.